Hi, this is Mr. V, of course. This lesson is going to be on adding and subtracting integers. This actually is where I actually introduce one of my favorite methods of solving equations or adding and subtracting integers, and it's a common method that and I just call it this because I think it's a funny little thing. Um, I introduced something called the Tribble method, and that's why I have the thing that says every story is about one thing, the battle between good and evil, and that's actually a quote from my father. If you ever ask him, he'll tell you every movie is always about the battle between good and evil. Um, so I've got a few things in the tool bag over here. I've We're going to be talking about adding and subtracting, and I'm going to have a very big emphasis on positive and negative. Um, I've chosen two colors: blue for good, red for evil, or blue for positive, red for negative. It depends on how you need it, but you should have two color pencils out, one being positive, one being negative. If you don't have any color pencils or anything, what I've seen people do before is they'll do like that'll be positive, and then this will be they'll do a filled in circle for negative. Um, so that's up to you if you don't have any color pencils, but I highly recommend the color pencils because it just makes it look better. Um, so the first thing I'm going to put on here, uh, last year was a great question. Someone asked me what is a tribble. Well, it's a furry little critter. They're small, soft, and gentle. They make a soothing sound and were created for the series Star Trek because they were cheap to make. So I've got a little bit of a got this big giant YouTube video, and so this is only like a 3 second thing of like Captain Kirk getting hit by one. Um, but they were basically they can make a ton of them. They were really cheap, they were really easy, and they were cute looking. So for me I call it the Tribble method because I draw a bunch of circles and I color different colors. Um, So yeah, here we go. Let's talk about my first example. Sorry about the little mess up right here. I didn't have time to fix that. Um, okay, so there are two ways of doing. There are actually a lot of different ways of doing this. One way is with a number line, and we're going to get to that in a minute. The other way is just with tribbles, and that's actually the way I prefer. Um, Adding integers. Okay, so we're going to simplify -7 plus 15. Um, I always I think it's just a great idea, and I'm gonna make you guys make it. I'm gonna have you guys be doing this in class tomorrow, so do be ready to do this. I rewrite -7 in red, and I rewrite 15 in blue. If you notice, I left the pause. I did that in pencil. The plus signs in pencil, just because it's a really good way of knowing this is red. You have 7 negatives and 15 positives. Um, the big thing about that we're going to be talking about is adding the opposite. The opposite of positive is negative. The opposite of good is evil. So for me, when I say we're going to add these together, here's what I think. Whenever you have good and evil, this is the intergalactic law. The intergalactic law of poof. The intergalactic law of poof says this: whenever there's a good tribble and whenever there's a bad tribble, they go away. They go poof. They just turn poof. They're gone. Ball of fuzz. Um, this is also basically what people would call the additive identity. If I add -5 and +5, they're both opposite. They're opposites of each other. When they come together, they make 0. So the way we show this is this: I put 7 negatives, 15 positives, and I'm going to go like this and go poof, poof, and I'm going to do this until there's only one color left. You do it until there's one color left. I'm going to do this 7 times, it looks like. Okay? And so my final answer, I'm going to see how many I've got. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my final answer is +8. Okay? It's a little bigger, so you can see them a little better. but that's it. Those ones I've circled are gone. They're not there anymore. They equal 0. So they're completely gone. So my final answer would be this: -7 plus 15 is equal to 8. Done. Okay, that's the first way. Now let's talk about the second way of number lines. And yes, I do want you doing these side by side. In the discussion, they have to be done side by side. I know I've got that -7 and I have that positive 15. There's 2 different ways you can do this. I'm going to show them both right here, actually. So it's up to you how you think about it. I always see that first number, and I always start there. So I'm going to start at -7. Okay? By the way, I have taken a ruler, and that's why my number line looks so good. So do take some time and make your number line look good. Okay? So we start at -7, and we're going 15 forward, because it's positive 15, which means we go to the right. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm going to go 15 forward. I'm going to show that by doing this. Okay? And if I take my pencil, hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's positive 8, which is exactly where we wanted to end up. If you want to do this a different way, which is fine, you can start at 15, and if you have -7, that means you're going back, you're going to the right, towards the negatives. 7. So I start here, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And look, that ends up in exactly the same spot as that one. But that one just went back by -7. So either way you look at it, -7 plus 15 equals 8. And that's using a number line. One way or the other, it's up to you what you want to do. Let's do another one, second example for this problem. We have -6 and -4, so I'm just going to do that. -6 is equal to, well, oh, by the way, -6, -4, I'm rewriting them with my colored pencils. Because they're both negative, they're both red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and -4 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are all evil trivels. Evil trivels. Evil. And well, let's see what we got. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, look, we got 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means we have 10 evil trivels. Evil trivels. Wait, so I'm going to rewrite it. -6 plus -4 is equal to -10. So -10 is our answer. And we're done. Let's go on right here to our number line portion. Okay. Again, it's up to you which one you want to start at. I would start at -6. And then -4 means I'm going to go 4 more back, or 4 more towards the negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went -4 back, and I'm going to check just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, -10. Okay, so we're at -10. Again, I can start right here, and now I'm going to go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the way, I forgot my arrow. I'm going to draw another arrow, and that one is -6. Again, they both ended up at negative 10. So negative 4 plus negative 6 is equal to negative 10. Tomorrow you'll have your option on which one you want to do, but do be prepared. Both methods I'm showing do require colored pencils. We got 2 more examples to do. One thing is about one example does have a little bit of a fancy word, and for me, this is how I see subtraction. I just see subtraction. In my mind, subtraction is a fancy way of adding the opposite. That's all it really means, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Some issues with that looking really blue. Okay. So let's go with example 3 to show you what I mean. So I'm going to show you what I mean. If you remember with your regular method, if I asked you what is 26 minus 17, well, we know that, well, 6 is too small, so I'm going to have to borrow from 2 and carry to 1. So I have 16 minus 7, which is 9. And then 1 minus 1 is just 0. So my final answer would be 26 minus 17. And then that would be it. If I look at it on a number line, what I always do is I rewrite it, and I rewrite it, instead of a minus, I add the opposite. So if 17 is positive, it becomes negative. If it was a plus negative, then that negative would become, or minus a negative, then that would just become plus positive. And you'll see, I think my next example has that. So let's just start this off. I'm going to start at 26. Okay? And then plus negative 17 means I'm going to take 17 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, sorry, take 17 away. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 26 minus 17, which is also the same as 26 plus negative 17, they both equal 9. Okay? So in my mind, that's what I always change. In my mind, I always think subtraction is a fancy way of adding the opposite. Okay? And so that's something that I usually do a lot, and you guys are going to be seeing a lot. So I'm expecting that you'll eventually start doing it also. And I'll give you more reasons about why it's great later on in the year. Okay. Tribbles. Let's talk about another way of doing this. Let's say you have the problem. Zoom in on this. Example number 4. Let's say you have negative 14 minus negative 18. Well, what does subtraction mean? It means take away. So if I have negative 14, so I have 14 evil tribbles, and I'm taking away 18 evil tribbles. Okay? So what I've done is what we have and what we're taking away. Okay? So I know what I need to take away, so I'm going to just start doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, what's the problem? We need to take away 18 of these, and we still have 4 more left over there. Right? Awesome thing about the intergalactic law of proof. If I have a positive and a negative tribble, they technically equal 0. So I can add I need 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I don't have 4 technically. I can add a positive and negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had 4 pairs, so you have pairs, now I have 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do we have? So we've taken away our 18 negative. What's left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive 4. So negative 14 minus negative 18 is equal to positive 4. Now that's done without changing to minus. I'm gonna do it the other way now. I'm actually gonna add the opposite on this one. Okay? So let's see what that looks like. If I change the minus to a plus, I have to add the opposite. So if it's negative 18, the opposite of negative is positive. So negative 14 triples, so 14 evil triples, 18 evil triple, or 18 good triples. Now I'm going to use my intergalactic law of proof, and I'm going to go, well, that's 0, 0, 0. By the way, I didn't line these ones up very well, so bear with. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Hey, look what's left. 1, 2, 3, 4 good triples again. So again, I would write down negative 14 minus negative 18, because I'm writing down what I started with, is equal to positive 4. Okay. So the whole adding the opposite thing, probably a little new for you guys. We're going to be talking about it basically next week or two. But there's 2 different ways. Look, I did triples. I used triples 2 different ways. So one of them was adding using the intergalactic proof to give me more triples. The other one was used to take away triples. Okay, so we're going to be talking more about that next time. See you next time.